Hey y'all, I wanted to introduce myself and my channel to you. So my name is Terrence Taylor, and this channel is devoted to sharing the lessons that I'm learning about building intergenerational wealth. I realized that I was so excited by the lessons I learned during the Grant Cardone's 3-day business interactive boot camp that I started the channel by sharing those lessons. So let me take a step back and share with you why I started the channel and the lessons that I've already learned. So I want to share the lessons learned with my kids and my family as we go about building intergenerational wealth. And one of those lessons is that I'm teaching my kids to teach their kids and to teach their kids to teach their kids and so on and so forth about building wealth. And another reason for starting this channel is to share with you all these lessons learned as well as the mistakes made, so hopefully you can avoid those mistakes. So let me actually start by sharing one of the mistakes that I've learned, which has been extremely costly. So in 2016, I had the opportunity to start working with Google and to start coming back and forth to the US to do that work with Google. And I started paying a lot more in US taxes. And I realized that by the end of 2021, I paid close to 2 million US dollars in taxes. In fact, I think a more precise number is $1,854,619. And that has been a very costly mistake because I've been quite emotional about taxes and not understand, and I haven't really understood the US tax code and how the tax code incentivizes certain activities if you want to reduce or even eliminate your taxes. So the first lesson is for wealth building, you have to not be emotional about taxes. You have to be strategic. You have to understand the tax code and think of the tax code as a playbook that the US government gives us to incentivize us to do certain things. And if you do those things, then you could actually build wealth, or at least not end up paying close to 2 million in 6 years in taxes. The second lesson is that there's a difference between a tax accountant and a tax strategist. So I remember in 2018 when I was when it showed that I owed about 37,000 more in taxes after paying 299,000, like 700, I think $75 in taxes. I was shocked. Like I've paid like close to 300,000 in taxes. How is it that I still owe 37,000 and I have to come out of pocket cash for it? And all my tax accountant will tell me is like, hey, you're a W-2 earner, meaning you are an employee and you're paid through earned income, and the tax code doesn't really give you a lot of options. So I very foolishly didn't try to educate myself about if there was a way for me to do anything different. And so that was about $676,000 into paying all this 1.8 million in taxes. So I still could have saved close to 1.2 million in taxes, but I didn't know that there is a difference between a tax accountant and a tax strategist. But luckily for me, in 2021, I started doing some research and I went to YouTube and I just typed in how to reduce taxes as a W-2 earner. And voila, I discovered channels, I discovered people who spoke very intelligently and very clearly about how to minimize taxes as a W-2 earner. And so I spent $2,000 to sign up for an online tax course. I went through the material. There was a lot on real estate and taxes, for example. I learned a lot from that. Then I realized that, okay, I need a tax strategist. So I spent $7,500 to work with a tax strategist to come up with a tax strategy for me to try to minimize my taxes going forward. And those strategies that were shared with me would have allowed me to minimize my 2021 taxes, but I had one small problem. I didn't have the cash to do some of the things that were suggested that I do. So I ended up having to wait until 2022. And in 2021, in fact, my tax bill was the highest that I've ever had to come out of pocket. So I owed about 90,000 almost 91,000 in additional taxes to like the 140,000 or so I'd already paid in taxes. So anyway, but luckily in 2022, I began to implement and put into action the strategies that were suggested. And when I just did my 2022 taxes, I have now gone from owing over 90,000 in additional taxes to getting a tax refund. When I know the exact amount of the refund, I'll come back and make a video and share that with you all. But what this shows is that understanding the difference between a tax strategist and a tax accountant actually is huge for us when it comes to taxes, but also building wealth. So a tax accountant will prepare your taxes for you, but they will not help you to come up with plans and strategies to reduce your taxes. A tax strategist does that. And sometimes they would have people who could also file your taxes, like in the case of the tax strategists that I'm working with. And sometimes they won't have people to help you file your taxes. So that's the second lesson. The third lesson is that real estate, and specifically buying and holding real estate assets, is one of the most powerful ways for you to build wealth. It increases the assets that you have, it increases your net worth, and depending on how you're able to structure the activities of running the real estate assets that you hold and own as a real estate investor, you can significantly reduce your taxes or eliminate your taxes. I'll spend some time and some videos explaining what I've learned in this process. But one of the most exciting things for me is I am now so clear on how to build wealth through buying and holding real estate that I got my best friend from Harvard Business School, Adrian Lance, involved in a partnership where we're going to be starting a fund to buy real estate, especially rental properties. And I have the privilege of being mentored by Grant Cardone, and I understand and believe like him that the next 18 to 24 months is going to be a period where there will be many opportunities to buy really, really gorgeous A-class assets, apartment buildings, rental property units at very, very incredible prices, meaning incredibly low prices. So I'll keep you all posted. Thank you for watching this video. Bye, y'all.